I didn't cry at my wedding. Not when the priest said, for better or for worse. Not when he slipped the diamond ring on my finger with hands that had probably signed more death warrants than love letters. Not even when he kissed me, because it wasn't a kiss. It was a contract. Killian Black didn't marry me out of love. He married me for revenge. And I let him. Because I had a plan. And it started with making the devil fall for the angel he thought he owned. 1 week earlier, I was just a small-town girl with a quiet life. I taught literature at a local college. I drank oat milk lattes. I had 2 plants, 1 cat, and no idea that my last name would one day become a death sentence. Until my uncle's past came crawling out of the shadows and landed in my inbox. A single email. A single line. He's coming for you. And he turned out to be Killian Black, the heir to the Black Syndicate, New York's most feared crime family. A man whose name made the kind of headlines that only ended in blood or billions. Apparently, my late uncle had embezzled $10 million from the Black Syndicate. And as his only surviving blood relative, I was the collateral. He showed up at my doorstep like a storm in a tailored suit. No guards. No lawyers. Just that lethal calm and a ring box in his hand. This is a courtesy, he said. Is this some kind of joke? I asked, heartbeat erratic. He tilted his head. Do I look like I joke? Spoiler, he didn't. I don't marry strangers, I said, chin lifted, even though my legs were shaking. His gaze swept over me like a scan. You do when the alternative is being buried next to your uncle. Dark. Brutal. Honest. I should have slammed the door. But instead, I asked, why not just kill me? He smiled, and it was terrifying. Death is too easy. You'll marry me. You'll live in my house. You'll smile for the press. And every single day, you'll know you're nothing but leverage. The wedding was cold and fast. No guests. No vows. Just lawyers, signatures, and a glass of expensive champagne I didn't touch. He didn't even pretend to celebrate. I hope you're a fast learner, he said, holding the car door open. At what? At pretending this is real. His penthouse overlooked Manhattan like it owned the skyline. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Sharp corners. No color. Just black, chrome, and shadows. He gave me the tour like I was a new employee. Kitchen. Bedroom. Guest room, you sleep there, he said. No touching. No sharing a bed. Just a marriage of ice and consequences. And yet, there was something under his perfect control. Something cracked. I saw it when he poured a drink and his hand trembled. I saw it when he stood on the balcony in the rain like he was punishing himself. I saw it when he watched me with that unreadable stare, like he hated that I was breathing his air, but hated it more when I left the room. So I tested him. Killian, what do you do all day? Plot world domination? I manage portfolios, he said dryly. For what? Murderers are us? Cute. He didn't laugh. But his lips twitched. Slightly. He tried to keep me out of his world. I tried to make him let me in. Tell me something real, I said one night. He leaned back in his chair, glass of whiskey in hand. You wouldn't survive it. Try me. He stared at me for a long time, then said, my father killed my mother in front of me. I was 9. Now I run his empire. The air disappeared from the room. I'm sorry. Don't be, he said. It made me efficient. I started showing up where I wasn't supposed to. In the gym when he was boxing. In the kitchen when he came back bloody. On the rooftop when he smoked his guilt away. I brought him coffee. He drank it. I left books on his nightstand. He didn't touch them, but he stopped throwing them away. Every morning, he left at 6 a.m. Every night, he came back after midnight. He was silent. Cold. Angry. But he was there. One night, he came back bruised. "You're hurt," I said, rushing toward him. He flinched. I froze. He stared down at my hand hovering over his jaw. "You're not allowed to care." "I don't," I lied. "But if you bleed all over that rug, I'll have to clean it." He cracked a smile. Then winced. "Sit," I said, dragging out the first aid kit. "You know how to stitch a wound?" "No. But I watched a YouTube video." He actually laughed. "God help me," he muttered. The next morning, I found an expensive coffee machine on the kitchen counter. No note. No explanation. I smiled anyway. I wasn't supposed to fall for him. Not when he had my freedom in a vault. Not when he still called me collateral. But I did. And I think, slowly, painfully, he started falling too. He didn't touch me. But his eyes did. They followed me when I walked into a room. They darkened when other men looked at me. They softened when I laughed. And one night, everything cracked. It was storming. The city was drenched in thunder and regret. I was curled up in the library, reading a romance novel. The one where the bad boy begs the girl not to leave. Where he finally says, "I need you." Killian stood in the doorway, silent. "I didn't hear you come in," I said. He walked toward me slowly, like he was trying not to scare the moment away. "What are you reading?" I held up the book. "You wouldn't like it. There's love in it." He sat across from me, elbows on his knees. "Try me." I read a few lines out loud. My voice shook. He didn't blink. Then he said, softly, "You're not like her." "Who?" "That girl in the book. You're stronger." My heart stuttered. "You married the man who wanted to destroy you. And now you're breaking him." The next morning, he kissed me. It wasn't a warning this time. It was a confession. And when he pulled back, he whispered, "I don't know what this is. But it's ruining everything I've built." I touched his face. "Maybe it's fixing it." I didn't expect him to change overnight. He was still guarded. Still sharp. Still haunted. But he started staying home longer. Started looking at me like I wasn't collateral. Started calling me by my name instead of you. He even asked me to dance. In the kitchen. To a slow Sinatra song. "I don't dance," he warned. "Neither do I," I smiled. "Let's embarrass ourselves together." He spun me under the soft lights, both of us barefoot, half laughing, half terrified of how good it felt. "Killian? Why did you really marry me?" He looked down at me. "I thought hurting you would bring me peace." "Did it?" "No," he whispered. "You did." That night, I fell asleep in his arms for the first time. Not as a prisoner. Not as collateral. But as the girl who made the devil fall. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.